Hello, welcome to part 49 of this Airbnb Clone Ruby on Rails series. And there's an announcement. I'll be working on React API based Ruby on Rails project as well as integrating React in Ruby on Rails. So these will be my future series. I'll start one of these series in either Feb end or March first week, whenever this Airbnb clone series wraps up. So consider subscribing if you are interested in overall front-end development or back-end or full stack. And at some point, I might switch to Android also. I do have experience in that, but right now I'm not fully sure whether I will create videos for that or not. So yeah, let's dive into this. In last video, we created this booking component. So we need to set up the check-in and check-out date, right? But what I'll do is I will do that in next video. And in this video, I'll do everything other than check-in and check-out date. Because what I want to do is when I explain check-in and check-out date, I want to create it as a separate video and consider all cases in that one single video. So let's focus on everything else. So let's start with this naming and all, and then we'll fix these rates, calculate these prices and all. Okay. So let's start from here. Name, right? Not this booking component. Check-in, 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 check-in. And let's break it to multi-line. First, I'll make all the cosmetic changes. Whenever we do some UI changes which are not that important, we term that as cosmetic changes. So first I'll do all the cosmetic changes and then I'll focus on using pricing to calculate values. And in here, let's write it as 1802 2024. Let's copy this because we have already made the indentation correct and paste it. And instead of check-in, let's write checkout. Check out. And let's write it as 20. Oh, 22. Refresh. Looks fine to me. Now we can fix this rate from $72 this. So let's copy this and use this here. Refresh, and instead of 1, we can set the correct value here. Okay, so I think we will have to create a controller here so that we can control various values. So for that, let me go to our controller, JavaScript controller, create booking controller.js. And that I'll copy this hello controller and I'll write it as console.log connected. And at top of our booking component, I'll add this controller. Normally we add controllers at top only. I'll name it as booking. Let's see if it is connected. Refresh, inspect, console, and we can see it is connected. Let's get rid of this. So now, what are the things that we want from JavaScript? From JavaScript, we'll calculate this value, and this value. And to calculate these values in JavaScript, we have to send this $72. So let's first focus on sending the value. So for that, I'll create a data dash per night price or nightly price, and in that I can use this. But I think if we remove this, we can cache the value correctly. Per night price, right? So let's go to here. Cost per night price is equals to this dot element dot dataset per night price and console.log. Why is I getting pasted? Okay, let's refresh. Is sorry, inspect console, and we have this 72. So my guess was correct that we can use humanized value without with symbol we can remove. So now when we have this, to calculate this value, we need night number of nights also. We don't have it yet because we haven't implemented this, right? So what we'll do is I'll create a function called number of nights. Later on we will implement correct code in this, but for now it will return 4. That's it. So we can use this here also, number of nights. So let's go to our show. Let me create a span here, slash span, name it as 1, refresh, nothing has changed. And now we can add a target. Data, controller name which is booking, target is equals to number of nights. And in here, let's use this target, static targets number of nights. Let me check stimulus.js. If we have set the target, we can use this dot this dot. Okay. So now I can control this value using this target. Okay. So let's do that. Let's do it here. Not in connect. Update details. And in this dot number of nights target, this dot number of tiles, yes. So we have got the entire element dot text content. Let's try this. Equals to number of nights. Let's refresh. It's still 1. Let me log this value. Refresh. It's not getting logged. That means it is not getting called. Yes, that's correct. Refresh. Update details is not defined. Okay, we will have to use this dot. Number of nights is not defined. Okay. I'm not fully sure why it is doing that, but I think there was one issue with this. If you name it as of nights, this gets converted to this, or should we write number of nights? Refresh. Number of nights is not defined. Let's refresh again. I'm just trying out few things. No, nothing is working. So what we'll do is we'll nights, booking target, nights, nights, target. Now refresh. Number of nights is not defined, but we are not using number of, okay, nights target. Number of nights is not defined where. Oh, sorry. And now it's working correctly. So now let's try to revert back to that. Number of nights. Let's see if this works or not. Number of nights, let's get rid of this. Number of nights, target. This is working. This is working correctly. So my assumption was incorrect. Anyways, now we have to calculate this one. So for this also we will set the target. What is this? We will name it as base price. So data base price. Sorry, it's a booking target base fare instead of price, base fare. Uh, Total base fare. No, base fare. I'm getting a bit confused, but base fare is fine. Let's add it here. And now we can calculate base fare. Let me check one thing. Fare versus fare. I think first one is correct, right? Both fare and fare are commonly used nouns. Fare usually refers to an event. Fare commonly refers to the fees, FARE. So it should be FARE. Calculate base fare. In that I'll need number of nights into whatever is the per night price. So which is this one. We don't need this anymore. I hope this is making sense. We have done it a lot of times and that's why I'm going a bit quickly. We can calculate this. So this dot base fare target dot text content is equals to calculate base fare. Refresh. Number of nights is not defined. This dot. It is 288. We need dollar sign. So how can we get the dollar sign? If we create a span slash span, and instead of giving a data ID to this, we can give it to span. Refresh. 288. So now we have to just fix whether it is rupees or what. So let me go to money rails gem, and in that I think there should be some method which can directly give us a symbol. Let me find this. And we need only symbol, right? Currency symbol. Only currency symbols from money range. How to display currency? Sorry. So we have set the pricing correctly. Let me write it as 0. Refresh. We have set up our pricing correctly, but we are stuck on symbol. Uh, how can I figure it out? Currency is there. This is there. This should not work. If I use currency symbol, it will return this, but it should not work. It is working. How is it able to identify which, like the instance of this? How is it able to identify that? That's a mystery. No worries. So we have done this correctly. We have to do this for service fee also. So for that, I'll create a constant, const service fee. I will name it as 0.18. Wait, yeah. So keep 18% service fee. So based on that, calculate service fee. In that we will need base fare, or we have to write this entire thing. So I'll use base fare only. This dot calculate base fare, and from that I'll multiply it by service fee. Let's see. Calculate service fee. This dot calculate service fee. This will calculate the service fee, and we'll have to set a target. So for that, I'll again copy this, paste it here, create a target called service fee. Copy this, save. Copy this, add this to our target list. Sorry, service fee, and set text on our service fee. Let's see, save, refresh. It's 0. Why is it 0? Service fee target calculate service fee. Maybe this dot. Yes, but value is problematic, so we will have to round it up. Round up to 2 decimals in JS. Let me. I got a message and that's why I paused it. So round up in JavaScript, or maybe we can do it in front end only, in Rails directly. So for that, no, we'll have to round up in this JavaScript. Math.round, okay. Dot to fixed to, okay. So let's try this. Refresh. 51.84, which sounds correct. And I'll use the same thing for this also, calculate base pair also. or should yes. So that if there is any issue, it will get fixed automatically. Now we have to focus on this also. Now in this, I won't create taxes in our entire calculation because taxes for each and every country is different. For UAE, it might be zero. For India, it might be 18%. So what you can do if you want to implement this, you can create a table where there's a mapping of country to their tax slab. And when you are adding a property, it will have a country on its own, right? So based on that, you can fetch the tax slab and apply a third entry here and add it to total amount. In our case, I'll just use total amount and there won't be any taxes. So total before taxes is just total. And again, we will set a target here. Not class, data, booking, target, and we'll name this as total. Go to booking controller. Let's name it as total amount. Total amount. And in here, we can use something similar. We will need a currency and then followed by this span. So I should have used span, this target for span only, similar to our other cases. Total amount. And let's calculate this. So for that, we can use calculate total amount. Return this dot calculate base fare plus this dot calculate service fee, and we'll use two fixed dot two so that it gets fixed to two decimal, and we'll call this. On which target we have to set it. Set this dot total amount target dot text content is equals to this dot calculate total amount. Let's refresh. This is 0 by this dot calculate service, not a function. Two fixed is not a function. Okay. Calculate base fare, calculate service fee. Let's see what happens. Cannot set properties to undefined text content. Okay. Target. Total amount target typo. Let's refresh again. Calculate base fare, calculate service fee. What am I doing wrong here? Total amount target, total amount, and finally total amount. And this is working, which has decimal this. Okay. It is adding them as a string. 2880 is a string. This is a string followed by this string. Why is it doing like this? I haven't written a string here. Float or double in JavaScript. Pass float. Okay. Let's see this first. Let's refresh. And the calculation is correct, but this again is a string. This last one is also a string, but we need exact values. So let's refresh and looks good to me. So as a final test, what we can do is we can set it to 1, refresh, and we can see it's 72, it's 12.96, it's 84.96. Let's add it to 10 and it should be 849.6. Refresh, 849.6. So overall, this is working great. Now the only issue is that we have to fix the check-in and check-out dates. So that we'll do in next video. We have already done 25 minutes. So yeah, that's it for now. We have kept it simple. I hope this was easy. And if you have not understood this, then it means you have to master Stimulus JS a bit. We have done that in past videos, so feel free to have a look. And do subscribe to this channel. I'll be adding Ruby on Rails, React, and other front-end and back-end related stuff later on, and maybe Android at some point. Thank you. Bye-bye.